Project Raincloud is a three-pronged effort that involves a film entitled The Game, a graphic novel, and a .com.
The game was selected for this year's Cinema One Originals Grant. It was selected out of around 100 scripts that were submitted, and they narrowed it down to 7 films that received a budget of 1 million each. The film is really an attempt to find the identity of local horror, where in our neighboring countries they like dealing with the afterlife, ghosts. Filipino horror was usually more concerned with the animistic aspect or the pagan aspect, the belief in the earth, in elements, in aswangs. I don't turn them into monsters. They become more of like cannibals, but there's still a sense of mystery and folk and mysticism. I'm borrowing a lot from David Fincher films, Spike Jonze, Terry Gilliam. Very speculative and very edgy. And more importantly, it's very young. So if you like The Lost Boys with Kiefer Sutherland, or Lord of the Flies, that classic tale of the boys that were lost in the forest and turned to each other, these are the films that I'm pulling inspiration from. In terms of pacing and the kind of storytelling I want to introduce with the game and with the entire project, I'm pulling a lot of inspiration from the Asian neighbors, the Asian films, the pacing of Wong Kar-wai in 2046. There's a Swedish film about vampire children called Let the Right One In. A lot of homage to Blindness or Children of Men, the films of Inarritu and Sam Mendes of Road to Perdition. Taking its cue from the film, we felt that it would be really interesting to provide a graphic novel element of the film. Not necessarily an adaptation, but an entirely different piece, an entirely unique and independent art form that contained the same spirit and the same story from the film The Game. To make the entire project come together, we wanted the third and last aspect of the project to be something that was very unique to this generation. We wanted a .com. Now, not only is this website going to promote the film as well as the graphic novel, it's going to be an avenue for the users, or meaning the target audience, to participate in the creation of this entire project. Project Raincloud is a brainchild of mine coming from my last film, which was Bulong, which is a speculative fiction piece set in a futuristic Escol Tower, Binondo. I wanted to go along those lines because I had fallen in love with the genre format and the speculative fiction format, because in this fictitious environment, or in something, or in a scenario that's very unreal, you can extract true and real emotions. For Project Raincloud, I wanted to set it in an alternate history or in a fictitious 90s, precisely because I wanted it to serve as a metaphor or a parable, so to speak, for what our generation has been going through and had been going through since then. It's a rebel yell, it's a cry for help, it's a declaration from what I feel the 90s kids are clamoring for. Project Raincloud is looking for partners to join us in this groundbreaking effort. It is the first of its kind in local pop culture, wherein it's a tri-media effort, a film, a graphic novel, and a .com that really involves itself with the users and the participants of all three. We are targeting a niche market, we are targeting the cult following, we are targeting the youth, we are targeting the students, the creatives, the advertising industry, and really it would be a successful display of how wide the range of a viral marketing effort can go.